is essential to build on a past relationship instead of trying to ignore it. You need to acknowledge the past, own up to the mistakes made, and strive to do better. Today on Our Space, we learn that reconciling after infidelity isn't always an option. Sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves is to forgive and move on. Always trust your instincts. So back in 2020, I matched with an ex on Tinder. We just had this long conversation and everything just felt right. We quickly began getting to know each other better. About 2 months in, my friend sends a screenshot of him still using Tinder. I thought the feelings between us were mutual and that we were exclusively seeing each other, and that I was enough for him. When I confronted him, he stalled a bit and then admitted that he wasn't ready to only see one person. I decided I was okay with it because I didn't want to lose him, but then quickly changed my mind because I was always the rebound in-between girl. The one guys just use and then discard when a perfect enters their life, I guess. I told him I no longer wanted to feel that way and that I wanted to discontinue things, and he decides then to exclusively see me. After that, we were exclusively seeing each other, but he wouldn't delete his Tinder account, although he swore he never used it during then. We were off and on because of my trust issues and constantly feeling like he wasn't that into me. He also kept giving me excuses that while he really liked me, he saw a future, etc., that he wasn't ready to be in a relationship because he wanted to finish school first and start his career. Again, I didn't want to lose him, so I figured he's trying and we're exclusive, just not with the titles, so that's good enough for now. We still go through our ups and downs because I lacked trust in him. I guess intuitively I knew he wasn't all in, and it made me feel like I just wasn't good enough. Then, an incident happens where I'm accused of cheating, although we weren't together, and he kept coming up with every single excuse in the book as to why I couldn't be his girlfriend. We get back together. Valentine's Day comes around, and I saw on a social media that he wasn't all that excited about spending it with me. I have somewhat of a breakdown and threaten to go home, but he reassures me that he's excited about me, etc. We have an amazing day together and night. I posted up our photos, and yet, shocker, he doesn't post up anything on me. I feel embarrassed and insecure, so I take them down and ask him why he didn't post us. He says he would rather post us in his own time. The relationship continues for a few more months until one night we get into a really bad argument. I felt like he wasn't that into me and kept showing me that, and he breaks up with me for not trusting him. A few months go by again, and he insists that I block him because he'll just keep contacting me and what's not. So I do, but he keeps finding other avenues to contact me. One night, over the summer, he comes by to see me. We sleep together and he assures me that he still loves me. A couple days later, he asked me to be official with him only, to take him back. I'm heartbroken and try to move on for good. Then, a few days afterwards, he asked me again because he finally started his career, etc. I'm so happy and we become official, but the trust issues are still there. Little did I know, about a month in, he hits up another girl with the intention to cheat on me because he decides he's not really in love with me and is just lonely and trying to fill a void. He's tired of my lack of trust, and we had a bad argument prior about it. He tells me he might as well cheat and that he deserves better than me and is insecure for putting up with someone like me. I feel horrible, so I try to trust him and do better as a girlfriend. But the whole time he falls in love with the girl he hits up. Mind you, we're long distance at this point, but so is he with this girl. We're both in the same city. He comes back and surprises me for my birthday and takes me out on a date. That night, something really bad happens and he tells me that he realized he wanted to marry me and protect me. After this, however, he goes on dates with the other girl, sleeps with her, is actually in love with her. One day, I saw that she liked a post talking about him wanting his girlfriend. I found it suspicious and brought it up to him. He threatens to leave because I'm not trusting him and I'm crazy and basically stalking a girl he doesn't even know. He then comes back and tells me he understands why I reacted the way I did because it happened before. We get back together. But then, deep down in my gut, I felt something was off. A few weeks later, I realized I was right. I confronted the girl who didn't know about me and confirmed that they had been talking to each other while he was away on business and started dating when he came back. I confronted him, and he completely ghosts me and tells the girl he's actually in love with her. He then confirms that it was never truly love with me. He confirmed my worst and biggest fear since meeting him, that he wasn't really into me, that he was just using me to pass the time, that I was just sex and attention, that he met this girl and he fell in love. Then he changed the story to he did love me, clearly trying to make himself feel better, but he just cheated and ruined things between us. and then decides that he wants to become friends with me, but only to ease the guilt. He follows me again on social media, and I had to see them be affectionate and loving towards each other even after the BS that transpired. I realized I'd had enough and that I just deserved to get away from the madness, so I do myself a solid and block them everywhere. The end. He then reaches out to me days later to tell me that he found out she cheated off a burner account, and if we could follow each other again. I tell him no, to basically go to hell and block him. They get back together, learned this girl is a toxic, manipulating witch, so of course they did. Also, I'm surprised how pathetic my ex actually is. Also found out that the girl has a history of getting in between couples, that she told him if she knew about me, she would have lied and continued seeing him. And now they're 2 months going strong, and I'm, I guess, broken? I don't know. Anyways, my cheating story. Hopefully you learn from my mistakes and to not overlook red flags in a person no matter what they say. It's always in the actions. Always trust your instincts. Even though it sucks that this thing happened to me, I realized they truly deserve to be with each other, and now I get the chance to experience real love, I guess. Edit. It seems like some people read this and assumed that we just dated unofficially and then he met someone else. So just to clarify, we did eventually become boyfriend and girlfriend. There were times where he would tell me how lucky he was to be with me and glad that I was his girlfriend. He would be upset at me for not initiating the I love you to him. He was very convincing and manipulative, which made me question what it was that I would kept feeling. He also admitted to emotionally abusing me, and even after this thing happened, stalked me on social media and messaged me off of a burner account. Yeah, I let a lot of red flags slide because I really thought it was me having trust issues, but I was also being manipulated and lied to. I was being cheated on while having this seemingly amazing guy that even my friends and family thought was amazing. He had everyone fooled. As for the girl, I'm not just attacking her character because I'm bitter. I actually got to know her. She loves going out of her way to hurt people and manipulate. There are a lot of things that I didn't include in the storyline, including the times that I left. I may have been desperate in the beginning, but he would do anything in his power to keep me, and that's what a lot of people don't understand happened. Even during his cheating before I found out, I left, and yet he kept begging me to come back despite having this girl as his side chick. I think if you're ever confused if someone likes you, OP, it means they don't. Someone who cares for you should never leave you guessing or feel like second best. He suddenly wanted to be exclusive because he didn't want you to be with anyone else. He wanted you to be available for him and at his beck and call. He didn't post about you because he had other things going on with other women. What a scumbag. You're 100% right about your intuition. It's a shame we don't listen to it more. Update. Guess the grass wasn't greener. After telling me how unhappy I made him feel, how I forced him into being with me, how the connection was so much stronger with this girl, how in love with her he was, how he's much better now for her, and other messed up crap he said to me, including rubbing his love for her in my face, they're done. And I'm actually not in a celebratory mood over it, which means, to some extent, I must have really moved past everything if this is my reaction. Oh yeah, and he started stalking me, which I find somewhat amusing. I forced you into being with me, but here you are, not leaving me alone. Trying to force your way back into my life. The one you so willingly left and decided wasn't good enough or worth it in the slightest. Guess he gave me something to laugh about. Well, on with my life, I continue. But I guess I'm putting this here for the betrayed partners that were left for the affair partners, that have convinced themselves that they were all wrong and not good enough, that the wayward partner and affair partner will last and they deserve a life of misery. And while I can't say I'm happy and I'm in a much better place now, I guess I'm somewhere far removed from this treachery. It's only a matter of time before all else fails with them. But who knows? They may get back together. If so, who cares? Guess I have stuff to send over to the affair partner that thought they won. I'm so glad you're in a different place in life where you don't go back to that toxicity anymore, OP. Self-respect is huge. He needed what he thought was an easy fix, but you're a changed woman. Funny how they blame you for everything and then come running back. Initially, gaslighting you to feel more in control. They're most likely to come back when you don't react to their emotional manipulations. Sometimes when people break up with you, they do so because they deem you invaluable to them. If you're always calling and begging for them to come back, there's no scarcity. They think they could come back whenever they please, so you confirm your lack of value to them. However, if you cease all contact and ignore their messages, you create that scarcity. Now they think you might not want them anymore. Suddenly, your value goes up in their eyes. Update. The update of all updates. Karma. So for a brief rundown, before I get into this update, my ex and I had been in an on and off relationship, and in December 2021, I found out he had been cheating on me, and when I found out, he left me for the other woman. He has said that he never loved me, that he was practically just with me out of convenience, and that they shared a strong connection, and she was the one he fell in love with. It was a whole lot of devaluing me to get with this other girl, basically. It's a whole lot, but that's the gist of it. The relationship sucked. He almost never had time for me. He would always put his friends above me, and I was always the one, well, mostly the one, traveling to him just to spend time with him. He was extremely emotionally abusive. It was a mess, and I'm glad that I'm realizing how bad the relationship actually was for me. Anyways, so this morning I received a message from him off a social media account, a new one because I have him blocked everywhere. He was begging me to unblock him on iMessages because he had something he needed to tell me. I'm not stupid. I already knew what he was going to say, but I decided to play along. So I unblocked him and asked him what was up. Long story short, he started talking about how he told one of his best friends about our split and was catching up with them. This friend of his had fallen out with him, and I guess now they're friends again. And the friend said that he messed up when he left me and that he should do whatever it takes to get me back, and so that's why he was in my messages. I thought this was hilarious, and I quickly told him that it's never happening again. He left me for another woman and betrayed me in the worst way imaginable. He's somehow convinced that he can change my mind. Why? I don't know. I asked what happened between him and the affair partner, and he said he spent the entire relationship cheating on him and lying to him. Ha, idiot. I pointed out that that's the only reason why he's in my messages, and he said the reason why is because of what his friend said. His plan is to heal fully, I guess, so that he can be a healthy partner to me, 1,000,000%, and commit to me. I told him I wanted him to heal and to be with who he was destined to be with, but it won't be me before blocking his butt. Wished him well and everything. I wasn't even angry about any of this. I might have been a little emotional, but I guess I'm glad he's going to know what it's like to crap on someone who was genuinely good to him and there for him, and no longer have access to that person. Maybe this will teach him to be mindful of how he treats the person in his life who cares about him. Perhaps not. Who knows? And who cares, I guess. Weirdly enough, I don't feel justified or as satisfied as I thought I would be. I just no longer care, and I'm in a place now where I just feel continuing to be single is what I want to do. If there's anything that relationship and this whole fiasco have taught me, it's never to settle, and that I indeed truly deserve much better than to end up with someone that screwed me over so deeply. Even if they change for me, it's not enough for me to be with someone that betrayed me. This may come across as offensive to reconcilers, so if you're reconciling, I don't think you should read this portion. I will never ever in my life support reconciliation. I don't care how amazing things were in the relationship, or how much that person claims that they can change, or if we're married and have been married for 56 freaking centuries. I told my mother about what happened, and she started talking about, everyone deserves a second chance. No, they do not. You don't get to throw everything I've done for us and our experiences and everything in the dump to screw me over for some other person and still gain access to me. No effing way. Does it make me a perfectionist to want to end up with someone who would never, ever, ever in life even dream of hurting me the way my ex did? That's what I want, and this is why I'll remain single. I do thank my ex for showing me how low my standards were, though. I don't think I will ever be that person again that accepts the bare minimum. I've realized that I want true love and someone that actually shows up for me for a change. I want someone who reciprocates and actually gives a damn about me in the way my ex, and to be honest, all my past partners, never did. Anyways, my mind is obviously all over the place, but I guess I'm proud of myself and happy that I've come to a place in my life where I generally do not care about my ex anymore, what he's doing, the affair partner, or any of his drama, and that I'm sticking to my guns and never ever returning to him. P.S. I blocked him again, and now he's begging for us to meet up later from the fake social media account. I have not answered him and do not plan to. Any further attempts at contacting me will be met with being last seen or with him being blocked. We've got a reaction from very upset and bitter. Good on you, OP. Let him and cheaters play in the mud. You don't have to join them. It's poetic justice that the affair partner cheated on him. Everyone deserves second chances. No, they do not. 100%. You can always find better than someone that would betray you like that. Best of luck in your healing, and proud of you for sticking up for yourself. NWTGM 1384 says, good for you. I'm reconciled, but it was a 25+ year marriage, etc. Not offended at all. I never thought I would be where I am now, but it is really good now. But For relationships where there is less time, worse waywards, serial cheaters who will not stop or abandon the relationship, etc. I love it when the betrayed finally has the upper hand. Isn't it odd that they think they can get us back? And guess what? That proves it wasn't us, it was them. Be careful here. Some become harassing and obsessive. Know you can get a restraining order if things get weird. Some waywards, their egos get in their way. Live your best life. And I would tell you never to settle. Keep your high standards. Those that want to be worthy of you will meet or exceed those standards. You're right to want all of those things for yourself, OP, and you deserve it. I mean, deserve it isn't even the right word because that would mean you earned it. You have the right to be loved the way that you want. No one should treat you any differently, and shame on them for having issues that they need to work on and end up projecting their ugliness onto other people. It's unfortunate that it takes moments like this to show us what we deserve and our true value. I'm proud of you, OP. What are your thoughts on reconciling? Let us know in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Also, please let us know what you thought of today's content in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.